Heated while the train is in motion. Everybody no eating or drinking except for water while on board. Engineer just alerted me we're going to be stopping for water at the water tower, about 50 yards ahead
Get
here.
to film them putting water in.
We do this several times a day. We've got various locations where we can take on water columns they're called. This is actually the water tower. It controls all the water in the water columns as well. More about water and coal when we make a stop up here.
You know that engineer on that track?
Yeah.
Bald hat.
Yeah.
Now this is work that the fireman in the cab is going to be doing. As soon as the engineer brings the train to a complete stop, you'll hear 3 blasts of the whistle when that happens.
See?
The fireman will climb into the tender area of the cab.
Make sure you film him.
So, watch for the fireman up there. He's climbing into the tender, which is a water tank and a bin for coal. The water baffle surrounds the bin itself. And there's a huge lid up there that will open up. It'll direct the spout from the water tower to the coal that the tank is going to be filling. Once everything is lined up, he'll start pumping several hundred gallons of water into the tank. Now, I mentioned earlier, we boil about 1,500 gallons of water in this particular locomotive throughout the course of the day. We're actually making a few more trips around every day now, so maybe a little more than 1,500 gallons. That boiling water is converted into steam that powers the locomotive. We boil the water by burning approximately half a ton of coal up there throughout the course of the day as well. Coaling tower is situated right next to the water tower. Kind of like a twofer here. You can actually stop and do both if you have to. That's the lid going back down. We're ready to go. Third building on the left is the Detroit, Toledo, and Milwaukee Roundhouse. Originally built in Marshall, Michigan in 1884. Reconstructed here at the village in the year 2000. It's one of the last buildings to be reconstructed here. It was actually built from salvage material that they picked off the ground in Marshall. They used the blueprints and photographs to reconstruct the building. We're now passing it back up Liberty Craft Works, where our master craftsmen are busy in the pottery, glass, and weaving shops this morning. Stop in, they'd love to talk about the work they're doing and show you some of the finished products they've created. Around the curve, we're entering our working farm district, 7.5 acres of land under till, anchored by the Firestone Farmhouse and barn on the right. Both buildings come from Columbiana County, Ohio. They were the birthplace and where Harvey Firestone grew up in the 1880s. Harvey founded the Firestone Tire and Rubber Company in Akron, Ohio in 1900. Through his business dealings, became a very close friend of Henry Ford. Many of Harvey's rubber tires ended up on Henry's Miles 2 cars. Along with Thomas Edison, would often get together for big think tank meetings. They would do those meetings while on camping trips around the country. Our merino sheep here grazing on the right. We're now approaching the Firestone Station at the main gate. A good place to get off the train if you want to visit the farm we're passing through. You're a short walk to the Model T District, the Ford Farm from here as well. For your safety, stay seated till we come to a complete stop. Platform here is going to be on the right. Do all reading, make sure you have all your belongings. Remember your wristband. Remember the train runs all day till 5 p.m. this afternoon. Stay seated, everyone, till you hear the